Hello, welcome to Itadaki Street Special. In this part, I'm going to talk about each of the options in the game from the start of opening the new file. So the first option is Tourney. The second option is Free Play, where Tourney is you play in different sets and try to complete the conditions, the victory positions to complete the set and unlock characters and maps and other sets to complete them all to unlock the Spear Tourney and Spear Free Play. Free Play is where you can play on the 14 maps you have already available out of the 18, and then you get to pick how many players you want, up to 1 through 4, and then go against AIs of your choice too, while also customizing different rules, which I'll explain later. This option is tutorial on pretty much how to play, where you only have standard rules available, not Spear, until you unlock it. This section is the collection menu, which keeps of records and all kinds of other things, but I'll go back to it soon. Then this one is the options. It's lets you change the sound, where you can have it mono or stereo. This here already mono, this is stereo. Here is the BGM, how loud you want it to be, and so is the sound effects. Controller is if you want it to vibrate or not, which I will have it off, which was already off, so I'll keep it off. This is the TV display where you can, if you want to, you can adjust the camera with the control pad or D-pad. Triangle resets it, and then when you're done, you press the X or circle button. And lastly is game data, where this lets you save any data, or write any data, or load from a memory card. You can choose for memory card slots 1 or 2, but I only have one memory card slot, so only card slot 1. Now we're going to go into collection. So from collection, it has all kinds of game records and characters, and all the characters. Where from the first option, it shows pretty much personal records of every account. You can have up to 8 player accounts here. The page over here are the other characters you play as or you fight against. As you can see, there's 8 that are not unlocked, which they can only be unlocked through the tourney. This next set is other records, where it goes from overall win ratio with track of first, second, third, and fourth on each map. Pressing L1 and R1 will show it for different boards. This next one is actually the number of bankrupts a player has made. Well, when the player goes bankrupt, whereas the next page is how many bankrupts the player has committed or caused. This page is actually the greatest sales of each player on the list, where it shows the person on the left, and then the person to the right is the player that paid it, and then the number with the gold is how much the sale was, and lastly is the location of the board that happened. This one is greatest payments, and so it's switched around and with showing what's the greatest payment, the biggest spender of which map. This next one is actually a page about how many total sales you had in the whole game. And this one is the other one with the greatest number of payments you've made total. This next one is also about the greatest value of a shop you ever built. And then on the right is the map is shown, which is blank. And this last page is the amount of stock money you earned, and then also which map it was played. This is the same set, but this is for Spear, which, I mean, you can view too, but there's nothing. This next section is characters. This shows the entire roster, which as you can see, there are 16 characters to be unlocked, but you unlock 2 for each turn you complete. So for now, I'll just go over the characters that are here, starting with Dragon Quest II, Princess of Moonbroke, and the Prince of Canrock. Then it goes to Dragon Quest IV, Ragnar, Kyril, and Dragon Quest IV, Elena. On the left side is all Dragon Quest, and on the right is Final Fantasy. So here is Dragon Quest, the mascot of Dragon Quest, that's in the series Slime. Dragon Quest III, Robin Hood. Dragon Quest Monsters, Young Terry. Dragon Quest V Flora, and Dragon Quest V Bianca. So heading over to Final Fantasy, you have Final Fantasy VII Cloud Strife, you have Eris Gonsborough, you have Tifa Lockhart, then you have Squall Leonhardt for Final Fantasy VIII, and then you have Renoa Hartley of Final Fantasy VIII. Next you have this Final Fantasy X2, Yuna, Riku, and Pain. Then you have Final Fantasy X Tidus, and lastly you have Final Fantasy IX Vivi. Where if you click on each in character, it actually shows different expressions for them, and which you can cycle through. Which you can also see, which you can see them in the game. Each of them all vary. Like, not everyone has like the same amount of anime expressions. Like, some have way more than others. Some barely have few. This next is the Spearless, which again we will be getting into much later. And next is Chance Cards, which is also a thing that I will explain later in the game. Well, actually, pretty much it's probably in the how to play. And lastly is another thing to be unlocked, which is the BGM, which is the soundtrack of all the songs in the game, which you can only unlock once you complete all the standard tour. With that, that is the whole menu of the game. Next time, I'm going to show off the tutorial on how to play